about to go see Stalingrad in 3D Imax. The interesting about this film is it's Russian, it's foreign film, and it's still in 3D Imax, so I'm really looking forward to this. It's not playing at too many theaters, so I don't know if anybody else will be able to see it, but I will give you a little overview and what I think about it when I get out. And I'm coming up to the top of this escalator, so I gotta turn around. Time to get some snacks.
Snacks, 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 snacks.
Alright, out of the movie. It's bloody cold. According to my phone, it's minus 15 here. That's center Celsius. With the windshield, it's probably about minus 25. But yeah, Stalingrad. The one thing I will say is, if you do get a chance to see the movie, see it. The movie's good enough that you shouldn't be disappointed with it. You don't necessarily need to see it in IMAX. And the 3D, give it or take it. Sometimes the 3D is good, sometimes it's not so good. Sometimes it's noticeable, other times it's not. Sometimes it adds to the picture, sometimes it's not. You know, standard stuff you get with a 3D movie these days. But yeah, I would say see it simply because I know here in Toronto it's only playing on a few screens. And we play we pretty much get everything here. So if you want to see more films of this nature get made, again, it's a Russian production. I believe it's the largest budget film and the highest grossing film this year out of Russia, and it does show. But yeah, if you want to see more foreign films and stuff like that, and you want more countries to do stuff like that, then you got to go out and see them. If you don't see them, you're not going to see them in theaters. And if you don't see them in theaters, you may not even get them on home video. I don't know who's distributing it in the US. I think it was Columbia was distributing it here, which is Sony Pictures. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's them in the US as well. But yeah, a little bit about the film. It's funny, when the movie opens, it's in Japanese. And other than the fact that I knew I was seeing a 3D IMAX movie and that I was in the 3D IMAX theater, I almost thought I was watching the wrong movie. But the movie starts off and it takes place in Japan just after the tsunami, with essentially Russian engineers and such coming in for aid to help out. And they get to a building and there's some Germans trapped. And so this Russian, I don't know if he was an engineer or what, but you know, somebody there for aid from Russia ends up talking to these kids who are essentially trapped under a building, and they're German, and starts recounting a story of his mother in World War II and well, fighting in Stalingrad. And so the story goes from there. And yeah, it's part drama, lots of action. The action sequences actually kind of reminded me of if you took the movie 300 and put it into a semi-modern day setting. You know, lots of slow-mo, crazy movements and stuff. So, yeah, it was enjoyable. Oh, that feels so good. Oh, heat. But yeah, like I was saying, if you're into World War II movies, if you like 300 and the action sequences, if you'd like to see more, well, think about it. It's Russian and their thoughts on the war. Then definitely recommend going out to see it. If you can find it. If not, request it. And hopefully somebody can get the movie into your theater. Anything's possible. But yeah, that's my thoughts on the movie Stalingrad. Again, a Russian production, big budget, lots of soldiers, lots of explosions. I'll give you one last little scene, you know, preview without seeing it. And that's as the Russian forces are crossing the Volga River, and the Germans essentially blow up the fuel reserves there. So, you know, they don't want the Russians getting them, so it's better to destroy them than to, you know, let them fall into the enemy hands. So they blow them up, and yeah, it was a little bit of a spoiler warning in case you didn't catch that. So they blow them up, and everything's on fire, and these, of course, there's Russian troops who have landed on the embankments, and they get caught in the explosion. But because it's, you know, a petrol-based fire, the gases or the oils or whatever are still burning. And the next scene has essentially all of these German troops all, you know, hunkered down in their trench works, facing the river, waiting for the advance of the Russians, and here they come on fire. These guys are literally on fire, and they are rushing the German line, and the Germans are unloading into them, and of course they're falling, and they're you know, the Russians are dying and all this kind of stuff. But eventually it gets to the point where there's all these Russians on fire that the German, you know, and they're coming right at the line, that the Germans are just like, oh my god, it's like the flaming towns of hell coming at us, and they start falling back. But it's just the look of the scene of these Russians coming over. And at first, you know, I got a little bit of a chuckle because I'm like, haha, these guys are on fire and they're coming across. But then it just keeps going, and there's just more troops, and they just keep coming off, almost like it was planned, like they were going to, you know, light themselves on fire and come at them like they're, you know, screaming, flaming balls of terror, firing their guns into the Germans. So that was one of those things where, you know, visually it could have been a little bit better, but it was still the whole idea, and what you could see was definitely cool. And again, this is the kind of film, big screen is always better than little screen. Lots of action, but it's not all action. Of course, there's, you know, there's actually a German side and a Russian side going on sort of parallel, and it eventually is this tale of these Russian soldiers and this you know, fella from the start of the movie, his mom, and what they go through. So again, Stalingrad, I recommend seeing it. It's not great, but if you have the chance, take it. That's the end of this one. So until the next video, take care and have a good one.